Namaste and welcome to your back body opening sequence. Come and join us in Thunderbolt pose as soon as you're ready. And knowing fully well that using a block for a Thunderbolt pose might be absolutely necessary or a bolster. So just finding the way that the posture will work for you, the modification that feels best in your body, and then bring your hands to your heart center in Anjali Mudra, closing down the eyes. And please drop into the awareness of your body, of your breathing, and fully arrive in this moment. We begin by cultivating our Samavriti breathing, and that means just equal parts inhalation to equal parts exhalation. So breathing in for a count of 4, 5, 6, pausing and holding for a moment at the top of your in-breath, and then breathing out for 4, 5, or 6. So this equal, smooth, rhythmic breathing that helps our nervous system to just find a little bit more harmony, a little bit calmness, and arrive fully, completely in this moment. You may wish to keep your Samavriti breathing through the entire practice, or using your Ujjayi breath if that feels better for you. Finally, before we move into practice, setting an intention only if you wish. And when you are ready, please release the hands, opening the eyes, coming out of Thunderbolt pose and into Child's pose. So spinning just on the long edge of your mat. For Child's pose, knees wide, big toes together, and then sinking the hips back as far as your hips and knees will allow. And then begin to walk your arms forward as far as your shoulders will allow. We bow the head to the floor in this gesture of surrender. And in every posture where the head is below the level of the heart, just this acknowledgement of the ego bowing to the wisdom, the ancient wisdom of our hearts. Please flood the breath into the body, sending the breath to every single cell of your being. And just staying here for another 2 breaths, letting go of the day that has been, letting go of the week that has been, and come into the totality of your being. In your own time and in your own way, we'll begin to gently walk our hands towards the right side of our mats to open the left side of the torso. So I'll encourage you to slide the right hand back, bend the elbow, and that becomes your support, your anchor, to create a little bit more length through the left side, through the left arm. Once you've arrived, take a moment to gently rock through the upper body. And when you feel the position, the placement that feels best to you, you'll close your eyes and you'll begin to breathe a little bit more consciously again. Feeling tension, releasing with each up-breath. And feel how the inhalation expands the muscle, the ribs, the lung in the left side of the torso. Let's stay for 2 more breaths. 1 more full, smooth, deep breath in and out. You'll ease your way back through the midline and all the way over to the other side. So once you've arrived on the left side of the mat, you'll feel an opening through the right side of the torso. Please bend your left elbow, anchor the left hand for support, and then tippy-toe your right hand further along until you feel a gentle, gentle stretch through the right side. Might be in the shoulder, might be in the side body, might be all the way down into your lower back. Please send the breath to wherever you feel the sensation. Taking 3 more breaths. Feel the ribs expanding, the muscles stretching. And on the exhalation, letting go just a little bit more. One more smooth, even breath with sound. Before returning your way to the midline and just helping yourself up onto your hands and knees. Anchor the wrists directly beneath the shoulders, the hips beneath the knees. Other way around, knees beneath the hips. Taking one happy cat. As we take a breath in, feel the front of the body opening and stretching. And then please exaggerate the tucking of the chin, the tucking of the tailbone as you look to your navel center. Just stay here for one more breath, opening between the shoulder blades, the middle back, the lower back, and the hips. Before returning to neutral spine, we're coming to a seated position. Perhaps you'll cross your ankles and just roll back, or swinging the legs around. And once we come into this seated position, please feel free to use a block underneath the pelvis or a bolster. We can also use straps to just extend our reach, and the block can also be used to support our knees. So wherever you are, coming into Paschimottanasana, finding the length of the spine first, reach for the sky as you take a breath in, and then ease yourself forward any amount. The hands might rest on the thigh, the shins, or perhaps reaching for the feet. Finding connection first to the length of the spine before you gently release your head, relax your shoulders, and come into an effortless Paschimottanasana. Softening through the back of the body and taking the awareness to where we feel this the most. Maybe it's your hamstrings, maybe it's behind the knees, the calves. Wherever you feel it, it's perfect. Just send your awareness there. Last 2 breaths. One more full, deep breath in and out. On your next inhalation, you'll lift your head, your heart, pausing before sitting tall and coming into Janu Sirsasana A. So Janu A, we tuck in through the right foot. And if there's any knee issues, we absolutely can place this right foot anywhere along the inner seam of the left leg. We can use the block to support our right knee if there's any discomfort. We can bend the left knee, and we can also use our strap to extend our reach. If you're not holding onto a strap, take a moment to breathe high, to lift, to lengthen, and then ease your way forward any amount that feels good to your body. Notice where you're holding tension. Quite often in the face or the shoulders, just let them relax. And notice how the straining, the efforting doesn't serve us in this moment. So as much as we possibly can, begin to soften, begin to release, begin to relax. Taking 3 more breaths. Letting the head and shoulders release more. Taking 2 more. And 1 more full breath in and out. On your inhalation, lift your head, lift your heart, pausing before sitting tall. We'll come into what's called figure 4 or bird of paradise. So we're crossing the foot just over the upper thigh above the knee. The foot is flexed on both the left and the right, and we've got a 90-degree knee bend through our right knee. Sometimes this creates too much sensation, and you might find that taking the hands behind you to take a little bit of weight out of the legs is beneficial. But if it feels like there's a bit of space to work with, stage 1, we hold the knee and the foot for some support. In variation 2, we just keep inching our way forward. Again, a strap is so beneficial to extend the reach. Wherever you are, just make peace with the sensation you're feeling. And remembering that stretching should never, ever, ever be painful. We're just seeking mild, gentle sensation. This particular stretch, we can feel this in many, many places. So just celebrating the sensation you're feeling wherever you're feeling it. Last two opportunities, last two breaths. One more full deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, please lift your heads, lift your hearts. And as you exhale, come back out of this posture. We're threading the right foot to ground on the floor. So this is a Maruchi Asana setup. So you've got a hand distance space between your right foot and your left thigh. And sometimes just holding on to that knee is more than enough. Option 2, we're going to ground into our left hand. We'll reach high with our right. Bend your left knee as much as you need, and you're reaching for the big toe side of your foot or using your strap. So as we come forward, we'll notice that the right knee wants to fall away. Keep hugging this knee in towards your right shoulder. And then please gently use a push of the left hand and a gentle pull with the right hand to ease you into the stretch as far as your body will allow. Notice if you're clenching your teeth or pulling faces or holding your breath. And if that's you, just ease back a little bit more. There's 3 more breaths here. So that gentle push with the left hand, a gentle pull with the right, grounding into the 4 corners of the right foot as you hug the right knee towards the right shoulder. A goodbye breath in and out. On your inhalation, lift your heads, lift your hearts. And as we sit tall, reach your right hand high and just take it all the way behind you. Might be fingertips if you're on a block. And then hug your right knee with your left arm. Please find the lift in the length of the spine and energize your left leg. You don't want to go to sleep. Don't let that happen. Beginning to turn to look over your right shoulder. Take your eyes with you. And remember the length of the spine, the lift of the heart, more important than the revolution, the rotation. Could you energize your left foot a little bit more? Pull the toes back. And find 1 more millimeter of height, of length through your spine. This is your last breath in and out. On the inhalation, return your eyes. And on your exhalation, release the twist. Please take both legs out in front and just give them a little reprieve, a little shake out if that feels good to you. Just repeat that sequence a second time on the other side. Let's begin with our Paschimottanasana. So reach high. Last you're ready, ease your way forward. Any amount, hands on the thigh, the shin, or reaching for the feet. Maybe that block is your best friend as we come into a little bit more of a supported option. Please close down the eyes. Feel just the rings of the nose and feel the breath moving in through the nostrils, down the throat, all the way into the lungs. And then retrace it from the lungs to the throat, through the nose, and all the way out through the nostrils. Just notice the change in temperature. Can you feel how it's a little bit warmer, maybe even a little bit moister as it comes out? And please just take 1 more of these mindful, deep breaths. On your next inhalation, you'll lift your head, your heart. And as you sit back, we're coming into Janu A on the other side. So your right leg is long, you're tucking in through your left. The foot can be anywhere where your knee needs it to be. And the option of using that block underneath your left knee if you wish. We can always bend the right knee. We can always lasso the right foot. But please begin by reaching your hands high if you're not holding on to a strap. Breathe in. And then take that length forward. Rather than worrying about bringing your nose towards your knee, think about keeping your heart lifted, your spine long, as you gently ease yourself into this beautiful back body opening. Softening always through the forehead, through the eyes, through the mouth. And then run that awareness from your shoulders down your spine. 3 deep breaths remaining. Quite often you'll notice that your left shoulder's up a little bit more, so see if you can melt it down. And perhaps you could roll your left ribs a little bit more towards your right inner seam. As you take this last full deep breath in and out. On the inhalation, we lift the head, the heart, and on the out breath, we'll sit tall, coming into that figure 4 or bird of paradise. So we're crossing the left foot above the right knee. And from here, because we're pressing down with that foot, there's more sensation on this posture than the last one. So the hand supporting you from behind is our stepping stone 1. Option 2, holding the foot, holding the knee with the hands, just giving yourself support. And the exploration continues and is entirely up to you. So as you begin to shift forward, just notice what's talking to you. Notice what's lighting up in the body. And then can you send your awareness, your breath, one breath at a time, one layer of tension at a time. Notice your shoulders. Notice your neck. And where could you possibly soften, surrender, and release a little bit more? Please take 2 more breaths. One more breath, opening those areas that are feeling a little tension. And on your next inhalation, we lift the head, the heart. The exhalation will sit back, and we're coming into our setup for Matsyasana. So grounding into your left foot, leaving that right leg long. Variation 1, just hug that knee for some support, holding your shin and focusing on your posture. Variation 2, you're grounding into your right hand, reaching high with your left, and then reaching forward, aiming for the big toe side of the right foot, bending the right knee as much as we need, or using our strap over the foot to extend our stretch. You'll notice that the left knee wants to fall away, so keep grounding into the big toe. Keep gently, gently pulling with your left hand, pressing with your right, and then scanning the body from the crown of the head, noticing where you're holding tension that you don't need to. And is there an opportunity to release, to relax, to completely let go a little bit more? One more little press with the right hand, one more little pull with the left, and hugging that left knee towards the left shoulder as we take one more full breath in and out. On the inhalation, lift your head, your heart. Please reach high with your left hand. Take it all the way behind you and let it act like a second spine as you hug your left knee with your right arm. Please energize through your right leg, your right foot. Draw the toes back as you begin to spiral and look over your left shoulder. Feel the inhalation lengthening the spine, lifting you. And feel the exhalation bringing a little bit more rotation. So this wonderful balance between levity and gravity. Feeling buoyancy as we breathe in. Feeling grounded as we breathe out. Just taking 2 more breaths. One more full, deep breath in and out. On the inhalation, the eyes return. On the exhalation, we release the twist, please. Take your legs out, give them a shake if you need to. And we're laying ourselves down as we come into just a happy baby pose to begin with. So gather the knees to the heart to begin with. Taking a moment to gently, gently rock the body from side to side. And once you feel like your spine is released and you're ready, you'll stand on the ceiling, separating the knees wide, holding on to your hamstrings, your calf, or maybe holding on to the inside or the outside of the feet. Please tuck your chin so the back of your neck gets a little longer. And then deliberately slide your shoulders away from your ears, creating more space between your ears and your shoulders. And now run the awareness from the base of your skull all the way down your spine. Please soften through your neck, your upper back, your shoulder blades. Please soften through the middle back and your ribs. And softening through your lower back and even your tailbone. Just stay for another 2 breaths in stillness. And when you are ready, you'll bring the knees back to the chest, just hug them in tight, and then grounding the feet to the floor. I'm hoping your block is nearby, and you can press into a bridge position to place the block just underneath your sacrum. So it's on its flat edge, its lowest edge. And we're coming into just a very restorative shoulder stand. So you might have to readjust your block a few times. But once it's underneath the sacrum, underneath the pelvis, begin just by hugging the knees in again, opening the back of the body. And that might be more than enough for you today. If you feel like your hamstrings will allow, you'll send both legs up into just a modified candlestick. You're welcome to hold on to the back of the legs for some support, but we're not really seeking a super intense hamstring stretch. We're just allowing gravity to give our circulatory system a rest and helping our lymphatic system at the same time. Please close your eyes and just feel the benefits of inverting the body, softening where you can a little bit more. Let's just stay here for 2 more breaths. One more breath. Before you begin to bend through your left knee, ground your left foot on the floor, leave your right leg exactly where it is, and now begin to move into a deeper hamstring stretch using your strap, but noticing how when we're supported by the block, there's a little bit more extension in the lower back. You're welcome to hold the hamstring, the calf, or even your foot if that's accessible for you. The left knee can remain bent, or you could slide that left leg away, creating a little bit more opening through the hip flexor on the left leg as well. Please take a moment to just notice how this is feeling for your body. And I'll invite you just to close down the eyes. The breath continues to penetrate where we feel tension, to peel away those layers of stagnation, clearing out any toxins, any cobwebs, as we stay for 2 more breaths. Run the breath all the way through the back of the body. And on the exhalation, feel the earth support you more. 1 more full deep breath in. And we'll just retrace our steps, bringing both knees to our chest for a moment. Readjusting your block if you need to. But taking this moment of reprieve as we hug the knees in and feel the lower back opening. From there, we extended both legs up just for a very gentle restorative candlestick posture, shoulder stand posture, with no stress, no strain. Cultivating softness through the upper body, through the torso. Actively working slightly through the legs, but more so just this idea of allowing gravity to work its magic on the circulatory system and the lymphatic system. Take one more breath. You'll leave your left leg exactly where it is. You'll bend the right knee and place the foot on the floor. And now move into a deeper hamstring stretch through that left side. Holding on to your hamstrings, maybe your calf. You're welcome to hold your foot or use your strap around the sole of your left leg. And then scan the back of the body. Have the shoulders crept up? Are you pulling faces? Lengthen the back of the neck. Let go of the effort where you don't need to be efforting. And consciously soften just a tiny bit more. Please feel free to keep your right knee bent with your right foot grounded or sliding that right leg away to create a little bit more opening through the right front body, right hip flexor. But once again, when we delve a little bit deeper, tension tends to creep back in. So scan the body. Begin with the crown of your head, the back of the head, moving the awareness into your neck, your shoulders, the spine, the tailbone, and all the way down the back of the legs. Could you relax just 1% more on this exhalation? Maybe 1% more again. And just take one more breath, one more opportunity to open before releasing and relaxing more. You'll bend both knees, you'll hug them into your hearts one last time. And if you feel safe, take a very gentle rock from side to side, even though you're on top of your block. And then slowly, mindfully ground both feet to the earth. Once you're safely grounded, you'll lift the pelvis, you'll remove the block, and you'll peel your way down one vertebra at a time through the upper back, lower back, until your tailbone is safely landed. Please take your legs long. Come into your Shavasana, your restorative position, the one that we work towards. The eyes are closed and you are consciously finding the very best, most comfortable position for you. Palms turn up, ready to receive. Feet falling out into a natural position. And just one last time, run the awareness down the back of your body. On this next exhalation, could you allow the right side of the back of the body to release more? On this next exhalation, could you allow the back left side of the body to relax more? And then running the awareness down the back of the body, notice where you are touching the earth through the back of your head, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, the backs of your hands. Run the awareness down the back, body, shoulder blades, spine, the back of the pelvis, your hamstrings, your calves, and finally your heels. On your next exhalation, allow the whole back body to completely relax. The back of the body is completely relaxed. Dear yogis, I invite you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you wish, for as long as you can. And please, in your own time, in your own way, you'll return to the rest of your day. Namaste.